What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Now, I got the message, okay, you guys? I moved myself to the other corner, but I know nobody's fucking gonna be looking at me in this video. Anyways, this is another Daddy Wells video. It just came out. It's called, Is Wes Watson Stalking and Harassing Angie and Her Friends? Let's get it.
Oh my God, you guys, the chisme is piping hot. I don't even have a plan for this video. I'm just winging it because there is so much coming out with Wes and Angie. I can't keep up. So I wanted to bring it to you as soon as I could. As we know, Wes Watson and Angie have split. She has gone back to Vegas and Wes stayed in Miami. And ever since then,
I did not know that. Remember she was saying that she was just over there to clean the place up because of a new tenant? The new tenant was her. Ha!
blowing up her phone, threatening her, being just quite awful to her. But then again, on the other hand, she was also exposed for saying very awful things about him as well, saying that she didn't care if he got locked up again, calling him names, saying that she was just trying to get the bag from him.
That's true. And she also said something, and I let it go. I lost. Anyways, she said that she didn't care if he lived or died. I'm going to say that the nicest way. And you can't be all this light and love and whatever the hell she says. And that's who you really are. Right? When you say you're just hustling this dude, when you say that you don't care if he goes to jail. I mean, I get he disrespected you, he put you through some stuff, but you chose to be there. This is not the first time you've been with him. You chose to come back for a reason. And it wasn't worth enough the first time. What made you think it was going to be worth it the second time? Hopefully, Angie, you learned a lesson. And more importantly, you're teaching your daughters how to be. Remember that.
And while, yes, I do think Wes treats her terribly, he's a piece of shit, he treats her awful, I also have heard quite a few instances where Angie has called Wes names like a bitch, other slurs. And to me personally, I was always raised that you don't call men those names. Like, those are fighting words. You never call your man a bitch. You never call him other, names that will demasculate?
Well, let me just stop that for a second. And I've always said that too, where once the respect is gone, the relationship is over with. So if you start calling people bitches and punks and, whores, shit like that, yeah, it's a wrap. You can't fix that. You can't take back what the other person heard. So yeah, once it gets there, I don't know. They're both people who want to be one thing in front of the camera and are completely opposite away from the camera. I'm trying to be, I was raised not to disrespect women, especially if they haven't disrespected you. But all of the work that Angie has done on herself, it tells me that there really isn't that much self-confidence. She had to go out and do these things, and I don't know. I don't want to say more.
Not me not knowing what I'm talking about, but like emasculate. Yeah, like it emasculates them, right? So you never want like your man to feel like a punk or a bitch or anything like that. And she really does call him these names. Not only have we heard her, but she's admitted to it. And it's one thing to like get in an argument or scream and yell at each other, but once you start like cursing and calling each other names, like even these dudes that I talk about, the alphas, I will make fun of them and I think, there's been a couple of times where I've slipped up and maybe called them a disrespectful name, but I don't really like to call men bitches. I've never called a significant other or a boyfriend a bitch or any type of name like that at all. I don't believe in that. But just any man in general, I try not to call them names, or, I'll call them a goofy fuck or something like that. But what I'm ultimately trying to say is that she is not innocent. He treats her bad, but she gives it right back to him. Anyways, they have been going back and forth at it online, just being extremely immature, letting the whole world know, or the whole internet know about all their drama, all their problems. And last night, Angie posted this on her story. She says, I've been getting a lot of messages lately about the real Wes Watson trying to follow my male followers and reach out with strange questions or comments about me. If you're one of the people being contacted, I just wanted to give you a heads up. You're, of course, free to handle it however you'd like, but my suggestion is to simply ignore and block if it feels off. Thank you for letting me know when this happens and for respecting my boundaries.
Obviously, Wes Watson is not in the right place in his mind. And I'm just going to go based off of what Angie said. Angie said that he's using something, right? That kind of sounds like that. As a man, like, who does that? Wes, if you're all that, you got everything. You're self-sufficient. You don't need nothing. You bring everything to the table. Well, she decided she ain't sitting at that table no more, player. Time to move on.
Heart emoji. And then on the second slide, she posted a screenshot that somebody sent her, obviously, of Wes requesting to follow them. So, she provides proof. And then the third slide is somebody either texting or DMing Angie a screenshot of Wes also requesting them, asking, should I approve him? Now, I have dated guys like this in the past that, when you break up with them, they go crazy and they stalk you on the internet. They stalk you at home. Obviously, he lives across the country from her, so you can't necessarily just like pull up out of her house, but it's all the same. We've all dated guys like this. Obviously, if you're a man, you haven't, but as for the women watching this, I mean, I'm sure we could all say we've dated a guy like this, and it's very unsettling and it's very creepy. I've been stalked by guys that I just hung out with one time. I have exes from years ago that are still harassing, still calling, still being annoying as fuck. I don't want to say too much in case they're
This is crazy.
Watching this, but it's annoying, it's inappropriate, and it is crossing a boundary. However, as we heard her say herself, she has kept the communication lines open.
That's stupid. That is so stupid. How do I feel like I'm like in a counseling session right now? Let's roll with it. I've said, and every man will agree with me. If a dude asks a woman for her IG and she says yes, he's in his mind, he's got action. If a man says certain things to a woman and she doesn't say, hey, I appreciate the compliment, but let's keep it cordial or whatever. If she doesn't draw a line, in his mind, I got action. It doesn't matter if the chick has a man, nothing. Because she hasn't put a boundary. So for Angie to talk all this shit, but still leave the lines of communication open, Wes thinks he still got that. That's still him, and this is just a phase. Whatever happens because of Angie leaving the lines of communication open, she deserves it. I mean, and I hope he doesn't ever do anything physical. That his ex-wife has said that he's done some of that stuff. But I think it's nuts.
She has continued to talk with him because she is trying to get money out of him. Now, I don't know if she is still talking with him, but as far as the online communication goes, she still mentions him. So how can you really say you want this man out of your life when you are still trying to get money out of him? You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to blame her for the way he's acting. There is no excuse for that. But you can't really have this both ways. You can't say that you want nothing to do with this guy, you want this guy out of your life, but you still want his money. And I also want to say that I do find it very pathetic that Wes, this guy who claims that he can get any bitch, he's this hot ass rich guy, which, a hot take, but I think he's extremely unattractive. But
Damn, and what's crazy is how much this dude has aged since he's been on YouTube, right? This dude looks, he's gotten old, man. And I honestly, I said it in a past video recently, and I'll say it again right here. I truly believe that the more money he's touched and the more materialism he's surrounded himself with, the more he's been let down. Right? Because I think in his mind, the way he thinks, if I get this car, I'm gonna get all the bitches. And he got the car and he didn't. So what'd he do? He went and got another car. And then he got one of these stupid chains. Then he got another car. Then he got another stupid chain. Then he put stupid tattoos all over his head. Look, I'm not trying, this is turning into a counseling session, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy. Your happiness, your sadness, your joy, whatever, does not come from outside of you. It's already in you. Your anger, all of that is in you. People can enhance those feelings, but they're already in you, right? This dude is trying to find happiness and love through material things. I used to tell dudes in the joint that I was school, never base a friendship on anything that can be taken or lost. Because once it's taken or lost, you have no friendship no more. And they'll turn on you or you'll turn on them. And it goes and applies out here too. If you're getting women based on what you can provide materially, they don't care about you. They're not there for you. Wes, you're old enough to know this, man, but I get you've never actually dealt with reality. You've made up stories your whole life and you can't figure out how to get out of the story. That's a cold thing.
Anyways, he thinks he's hot shit, right? And that he can pull any woman and blah, blah, blah. But yet he is still hung up on his ex. He is not moving on. And even worse, he is making a damn fool out of himself. He is making himself look like a psycho, like a crazy person, like he needs to be locked up in a mental ward. So if you're such hot shit, then why are you still sitting here obsessing over a woman who has said time and time again that she wants nothing to do with you?
I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Sorry for cutting you off, but I believe at this point, Angie is another material thing. And how dare this thing try to get away from him? Doesn't she know what he can provide? Right? And I don't know how many, I don't even want to go really. I'm going to say this and we're going to move on. We're going to go with whatever is being said here. I've had homegirls of mine. I've had chicks that I talked to in the past that I've had to point something out to, and it's those women that say, and Angie I think is one of them, dealing with Wes, right? Those women that say all men are dogs, all men are no good. I've had conversations with women that have thought that way, and you know what I've told them? Your type is a dog. Your type is no good. Change the type of man you're looking for and you have different experiences. So Angie, your type right now, Wes, and his crew, you were pillow talking with one of his boys. Your type is trash.
Anyways, let's continue. So then after that, she posted this story and it says, if he has been trying to follow you, message you, or say weird things about me, just know that this is part of the same behavior I've been dealing with. You don't owe him your time, your energy, or a response. As for me, I refuse to be intimidated. My life is moving forward and no amount of games or stalking will change that. Amen, sister. Whoa. But then again, you guys, like I mentioned earlier, you can't say things things like this and say how much you want to move on and you want nothing to do with this man, but then on the low, secretly, you're, behind the scenes trying to hit him up for money, trying.
Honestly, these two are perfect for each other. I don't mean to be rude. Angie is not, in my opinion, Angie is not a good looking woman. And I'm sure to some people she's a dime. And Wes is one of those. Wes really believes she's a beautiful woman. She's exhibiting some stuff that I would hope most men would pay attention to and be like, nope. Even if you think she's fine, be like, hell nah. A woman can be gorgeous on the outside, and you have a conversation, and I've had that happen. Ran into two chicks that I knew were feeling me, and I start talking to them, and what's coming out of their mouth completely changed their outside to me. I was just like, no, not it, right? And Angie, some of the things that you're saying, and I'm gonna end this here because I don't want to. You guys go over there to Daddy Wells and watch the remainder of this video. Seems like a good video. I thought it was gonna be a funny one. I don't watch these videos before I react to them. You guys know that because I want to have a fresh reaction, right? But yeah, this one turned out fucking couples therapy, right? What the fuck? But that's what they get for letting us know so much about them. For putting and that's what a lot of people do now. I'm old. I'm 51. I'm not gonna be on the internet talking my intimate shit for everybody else to go ahead and have some saying. But since these two did, I get to do that. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.